One of the main causes of world hunger is poverty. Many people in poverty cannot afford the food that is in markets and fast food places. 66 million primary school-aged children attend classes hungry across the developing world, with 23 million in Africa alone, according to the Freedom for Hunger World Hunger Facts. World hunger really became drastic in 2006 and 2007. Another big cause of world hunger is food waste. Food waste is a big part of world hunger because people that have the money to afford food tend to waste more food. People don't need to waste, they can give it to shelter or save it. It's way better than wasting it. Another contributing factor is war. When people go to war, only one person takes care of a family if they have one. And sometimes when they work, they don't make enough money to take care of their family. And also, soldiers need food. So that's another big cause of world hunger. About 37 million Americans struggle with world hunger, according to the feedingamerica.org.
Hunger causes a lot of problems, not just to an individual person, but to countries as well. It can affect a person's health and well-being by making their bodies weaker and more susceptible to disease and illness. According to eSchool Today, poor nutrition causes nearly half, exactly 45% of deaths in children under 5 years of age. That equates to 3.1 million children each year. It can also affect a person's education because being hungry causes a person to lose focus and be unable to retain information. Lastly, countries with hunger tend to do poorly in the economy. This is because people are constantly ill, so their interest in working is very low. Fewer hands on farms also mean that there's not enough produce from the farming villages into the towns for consumption. World hunger has been around for a long time, but it has only become a drastic issue in the last 5 decades or so. According to worldhunger.org, over the time span of 34 years, from 1974 to 2008, the amount of hungry people in the world has risen from 500 million to 862 million. That means that there has been an increase of 15 million hungry people a year. The amount of hungry people continues to rise, and if we don't do anything to reduce the amount of people and aid the problem, it will continue to get worse and worse.
There are many organizations made to fight world hunger. These organizations help poorer countries make sustainable food sources and make sources of clean water. But most of us can't just start digging a well in Africa, so how can we help? Donating to charities like Action Against Hunger and Bread for the World are still important contributions to ending world hunger. If you want to do more, starting and donating to food drives is also super helpful towards hungry people. If you want to help but don't want to put in much effort, the easiest way to help is spreading awareness. The more people that are aware of world hunger, the more likely it is for people to help. Those are all great ways we can help, but we need something even bigger to solve the problem. Sustainable farming could bring an end to world hunger. Sustainable farming is all about growing what is needed currently without ruining the chances to grow what we will need in the future. Creating these sustainable food sources in areas with high levels of hungry people could allow these people to become self-reliant and have steady sources of food for their families. Another solution to world hunger is urban farming. Around a quarter of hungry people live in urban places. Urban farming can give these people their own food source and again give them self-reliance. Urban farming also takes up much less space than traditional farms that are spread across the land. Vertical farms enable people to grow more food in small amounts of space. Getting people from all around the world access to education can prove helpful to solve poverty and hunger. Educating children in poorer countries will improve their futures in getting better jobs, making more money, and as a result, more food. The effects of hunger are harmful mentally and physically. Rates of depression, anxiety, and PTSD are higher in hungry people. According to feedingamerica.org, children with severe hunger are 56.2% more likely to have PTSD and 53.1% more likely to have severe depression. Hunger also increases the likelihood for getting chronic diseases. High blood pressure and diabetes are more common with malnourished people. Hungry people also have a harder time in school because hunger makes it harder for children to concentrate. Not to mention that if these hungry people aren't treated in time, they will join the 25,000 people who die from starvation every day.
Why is it important to do something about this crisis? It is important to do something about this crisis because it slows down the development of countries and it creates a ripple effect on those countries where people suffer from world hunger. Not only does it cause bad health and suffering to those people, but it slows down many more areas of development, such as education and employment. Malnutrition also makes children vulnerable to diseases and illnesses, and it stunts the growth development of kids. Another reason why it's so important to end world hunger is because 3.1 million children per year die before turning 5 years old because of malnutrition. Ending world hunger would mean that all those people that die will not, and that could help a country push forward, and it helps the development of a country be greater and better. It also prevents children from learning and for future earning potentials according to schools and places where malnutrition is a common theme. They say kids come to school hungry and have no focus in class. Providing these kids with food would mean that there could be more lawyers and scholars that can help the development of things. It would be an even world for opportunities and possibilities. How does this topic relate to universal love? This topic relates to universal love because we all deserve to have a good and sustainable food source so we can thrive as humans and achieve better things and be better in life. It is something that all nations should look forward to ending because it holds back the development of certain areas of the country, like in education and employment. With the ending of world hunger, it can make things better for all humans, and it can make the possibilities of all humans even.